Optimal living, living optimally.
Welcome to Optimal Living Starts Here. I am Versandra Kennebrew, your host, and we're excited today as we continue on with this new year and new you theme. And today I want to talk a little bit about personal development and the importance of personal development in our lives as we choose to walk this path of optimal living. So today I'm going to share with you some of the things that I embraced as I moved here to the Columbus, Georgia area from Atlanta, and I wanted to grow my new business. And guess what I did? I tapped into some great organizations that are here helping entrepreneurs. And I am hoping that you will do the same as you look to grow and develop yourself and possibly your business in this new year. The first thing I did was tap into the Startup Columbus organization. It's a part of the Greater Columbus, Georgia Chamber of Commerce. And this organization helps entrepreneurs to get their business plan written, helps them to make connections in the community so that they can grow and expand their business and even prepare their business for funding. Can I hear you say, get that money? Yes. That's what Startup Columbus is all about, and I had such a pleasure to be one of the very first incubator tenants in that building. But beyond Startup Columbus, I'm also a member of the Greater Columbus Chamber of Commerce. Why wouldn't I be if they provided me such a dynamic opportunity to develop and grow my business? Beyond being a member of that chamber, I am also a proud member of the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce. There's something going on here, and I hope you see it. It's about collaboration and how working together with organizations and even family members and friends can help you reach your goals. We cannot do this thing alone called life. We are part of a bigger picture. And so today, I would like to introduce to you some of my dynamic community partners and let you know a little bit more about how we work together to help our community be more fruitful and live more healthy, happy lives.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Dennis Beason. I'm the president of the East Alabama Chamber of Commerce, which is located in Phoenix City, but we represent Russell County and all the way into Smith Station. So it's great to be here, and truly it's great to be here with the Greater Columbus Chamber, and I think Kim might stop by too at some point today too from Harris County. I'm a big regional guy, and I pitch regionalism all the time. It's so important that we work together as a region. We're all going to grow if we just use that river as a bridge, not a blockade. And I think that's a great opportunity. Everybody gathers around rivers and water and comes together, and that's what we have here. We've got a wonderful setup of the Chattahoochee. Thank you so much for what you're doing. You started at the Startup Center, and you keep growing, and you have a wonderful space here. And you realize that being part of the Chamber of Commerce on both sides of the river and Harris County as well is an important part. So I'm a chamber guy through and through. Anybody that in this room that knows me knows that I preach shopping local and seeking out a chamber member first.
Yes.
That's our goal, and we try to help each other out because, boy, it's getting tough with the global economics that are out there and Amazons and all the places in the world where it's so easy in the middle of the night when we can't sleep and boy, let's go shopping. But that doesn't necessarily help our local economy like it needs to. So helping out our friends that are trying to be entrepreneurs and get going is the only way that we're going to do it. So thank you for allowing me to speak and for us to be here. And I get to pass the baton over to Ben, who is doing great things for entrepreneurs and startups in this area. So Ben.
Thanks. So, first of all, congratulations, Versandra. This is so exciting. I've had the opportunity to work with Versandra for a year and a half now, I guess. Startup Columbus, we're an entrepreneur support organization, and we have a business incubator that's 2 blocks down the road. Versandra was one of our very first tenants in the space, and so we have this timeline that you can be in the space where we help you develop your business, grow your business. She was one of those first few people to be in there, and she's gotten to this point where it's bittersweet because we kind of nicely force people out the door in a way to get them to where they're at now, where she's at now. So one of the things that Versandra is so passionate about what she does, she works so hard on her business, and there's a reason that she's been able to move out of this incubator into this new space. She collaborates well, she works with people in the community. At our last startup roundtable and starters roundtable, someone asked her about if she was going to join this group. One of the things that she said that stuck out to me, she said, she's a part of a lot of groups, but I find groups that add value to me. And that's why there's so many people here, because you've all added value to her, and now her business is going to be able to add value, more value to our community as well. So thank you for everything you're doing, Versandra. You have been an amazing inspiration to all the other entrepreneurs in the incubator and the ones that are going to come follow after you. So I'm not sure who I'm passing it on to, but thank you so much, Versandra. Yes, absolutely. Congratulations.
We have you here. We've just completed a session with the YP, the Young Professionals of the Greater Columbus Chamber of Commerce. I'd like to get just a quick recap for our audience on the Optimal Living Starts Here program. What top tips would you like to share with our guests?
Well, the topic for today was just holiday stress and anxiety. And the first thing I just did is identify some common symptoms of anxiety are you're starting to worry a lot, you feel irritable a lot, you're kind of expecting the worst, you have trouble relaxing. And so worry is one of the most common symptoms of anxiety. And so once you're like, yes, I have those symptoms. I really I gave them an exercise where they had to write down the present situation in their life that was causing them the most stress. And then you had to name your automatic thoughts about the situation. And so they would list their automatic thoughts about the situation. And then part of that is trying to get to the source of your anxiety. Because again, if you are worrying about something. And so taking the time to connect the dots to the situation, to what you're thinking, to how you're feeling is really important and helpful in the journey of anxiety. And there are different types of sources of anxiety. I kind of highlighted end of the year fatigue, end of the year burnout. I highlighted loss. I highlighted loneliness, family, relationship stress. And then I highlighted unrealistic expectations of yourself and others. And so I just gave a few little tips in each of those areas. So like end of the year fatigue, or if you're in burnout, just because it's been a hard year, work's been hard, COVID's been hard, life's been hard, I ask that you go back to the basics of self-care. And the basics of self-care is exercise, nutrition, rest, enjoyment, actually doing things that actually fill you back up, give you energy, put something back into you versus take. And I really encourage anybody that's in fatigue or burnout to kind of make at least a 6-week plan where you put those things back into your life and make them a priorities to try to help your body recover from fatigue. Fatigue is actually a big one, I think, at the end of the year. With loss and loneliness, it's so tempting to avoid. It's so tempting to isolate, and I just simply ask that people be open to connecting with at least one person if you are struggling with loss, grief, or loneliness, because it's just important to connect with other people through that loss and grief is hard, and doing it by yourself is harder. And so I just really encourage people to can you at least be open to connecting with one person. And then also, I like to make a list of things, of small things, because a lot of times you don't have energy when you're in grief to do a whole lot. But what are some small things that bring a little bit back to your life? And we make a list and kind of trying to make a plan on helping, letting that help. And then the next one was family relationships. That's a hard one to just give tips to because Every one of you has a unique set of people in your life, set of characters, background, history, story, and people I need to get info about that before I can discuss a strategy. But generally, I would say, please accept that you cannot change people. Do not expect that in a Christmas season you're going to change your family. Most of us at this point in our lives, if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, there's just some people in your life that are who they are. They're going to be that way, and it's not about changing them. It's about you getting a strategy for how you're going to handle that. And so that's a tip. And then I often it really is about sitting down and making a strategy for how you're going to handle the different conflicts in your family life or your relationships. Make a strategy. The last one was realistic expectations. This is big. Unrealistic expectations equals stress, or unmet expectations equals stress. It always will. And so taking the time to ask the question of yourself, what are my expectations of me?
Well, thank you. Yours as well.
What are my expectations of others? And then you ask the question, are they realistic? Are you making them on real facts, real life, or is it just an ideal version or some sort of perfectionist version? And I really like to move people who struggle with perfectionism, move out of perfectionism into being just purposeful and living your life out of your values. That's the best thing you can do, is name your values and live out of your values. So having realistic expectations of yourself and others is a worthy thing to sit down and think about, and get your best friend, someone who knows you well, go back and forth. What would be a realistic expectation of me in this situation? Go back and forth with a friend on that. And then as a counselor, I just encourage. There are actually a lot of you don't probably know this, but there's EAP programs, employee assistance programs. I know in the Columbus area, a lot of the Pastoral Institute is a counseling center that they have a lot of EAPs, meaning that depending on where you work, you can actually get 5 to 6 sessions free. And so if you're someone that's thinking, I need to talk to somebody, it would be good to take a step to talk to somebody about the different struggles of your life. Find out if you have an EAP program, because you can very possibly get about 5 to 6 sessions for free, depending on where you are.
So there you have it. We're working together here to make this city and this region more healthy and more happy. I tell you the truth, I cannot wait until the very next episode of Optimal Living starts here, and I hope that you will continue to engage with us. Comment, share, like, and make sure that everyone in your family and your community knows that they too can tap into all of this goodness as they plan to move forward in their lives, living optimally, and we are going to be here for you throughout that process.
Optimal living.